What's up, folks? Sunday night, we got the Monday market report for the week ending July 23, 2023. Whoa, 23's in there. If I didn't know any better, I'd say LeBron James and Michael Jordan were shaking hands in this video. But we are here for a completely different reason. We're here to take a look at some of the most relevant post-1900 modern era of graded coins to have finished on great collections here tonight. A lot of the auctions coming to a close. I think there's just a few listings left, and then we are good to go. But I picked out quite a large list of coins that all deserve some sort of recognition. All right, the market is not cooling down, folks. As we trudge on through the month of July, we are just 7 short days away from August, and bam, just like that, we are going to wrap up the hottest time of the year from both sides of the spectrum. And I would say that looking at my list here, good gracious, I mean, people are so hyped about some of these coins. The Registry set system has never been more popular and more healthier. Once you see some of these realized sales, I'm telling you what, guys, there's just there's no other way that this thing could fall right now, because everybody is on cloud nine in the coin community. And with some big shows coming up here, we have the Pittsburgh A&A just around the corner. I mean, we're like 2 weeks away from that event. I mean, summer has been hot. And we're not talking about the weather. The weather has been blistering, but my friends, in the coin, currency, and precious metals world, that has been a whole new level right there. So again, we're taking a look at everything that did sell on great collections from this modern era I speak of. Everything's graded, PCGS, NGC, maybe there might be an annex slab somewhere in there. It doesn't matter. I mean, we represent all of it. We talk about everything that's relevant. And a little bit of a fine print, these videos are not financial advice, of course, because you'd be silly to believe that grading your own coins and getting them at these particular levels that folks are selling them at, it's a lot tougher than it looks. So please use caution when you're grading your coins, and grade responsibly too. It's just, it is what it is, right? So let's go ahead and check out all of the listings that I had personally highlighted for tonight. We have 22 total listings from GC that we're going to talk about. Starting out with a bevy of Registry set worthy candidates. Starting out with a 1995D Lincoln Memorial set. This one is a high graded specimen indeed at a mid-state 69 red through PCGS. The coin is simply immaculate, and it has to look as such if you're going to have any chance whatsoever at grading it at this level. PCGS nor NGC, they don't hand out grades like this at all. You're going to have to really test your grading prowess in order to achieve a 69, because that's 1 point away from perfect. And as we know from the business strike coins that we constantly see every single time these things are released, it's not pretty. These things were not made to be the beauty queens of the coin world like proof coins. So this one right here, Top Pop coin, $3,825 all in, my friends. That's the sale price for this one. Next one that we have here, again, another Top Pop grade, this time 1977 Lincoln Memorial set. PCGS gave this one a mid-state 68 red. Again, look at it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a really clean coin. And between this and the 95 we just looked at, we're talking an 18-year gap. All right, 1970s coins, the quality just wasn't there for a lot of the dates. 1977, I would say, along with 78 and 79, have come away unscathed, by the crappy quality that you would expect for the decade. So again, Registry set Nirvana here, $4,612.50. all in. There you go. And wow, we actually have another 1969S doubled die obverse Lincoln Memorial set hit the auction block here this week, or closed out rather this week. I think this one was on Great Collections for a few weeks, as it was gaining some eyeballs on it. Not the best looking example, not the best looking Mint State 61 red brown either. It's got a few spots on there, and wow, it's always good to see one of these, and they're always big money. Ladies and gentlemen, this one ended up selling for $18,956.25. This should be the big target for a lot of you as you're looking through your change. There have been a number of people all across the United States that have successfully found the FS 101. And as of the taping of this video, a lot of them are still worth 5 figures. Next one that we have here, again, we're continuing on this registry set train we talked so much about. We have a 1965 Lincoln Mem. One of the more tougher dates. I tell you what, 1960s Lincolns, ooh, man, they are quite a challenge. If you've never graded any 1960s Lincoln cents, let alone any other denomination, you're in for a wild ride. And that ride could be very turbulent. I'm telling you, 98% of the time, it's a very turbulent ride. Mint State 67 plus full red is going to be that level that you need to get to where these things begin to take off. This, my friends, sold for $4,050 compared to the first couple Lincoln cents. As you can see, the quality just does not compare. And because of that, finding one that's going to grade out anything above Mint State 66 will be a monumental task for anyone who's daring enough to do so. And we also have a 59D, first year of the Lincoln Memorial cent. Again, not easy to find this. Mint State 67 plus full red. You guessed it, another registry set worthy coin, although there are a number of examples that grade out at this higher level, so it's not as rare as the 65 we just looked at. Because of that, this one managed to sell for only $1,856.25. I believe there are 68s in a 59D. 67 plus, I believe, is the top pop for the Philadelphia minted coins. So keep that in mind. They're great to cherry pick through for really nice varieties and RPMs and things. Finding one that's a grade out this level can be a little bit tough. The next one that we have here, this time we're going to cross over into some proof coinage. Proof coinage, as we all know, is the highest quality produced item from any mint facility. All right, they're made to be collectibles for the folks that want them. And these are generally highlighted with incredibly polished die faces. Every single coin is struck twice. I mean, you know, that is the quality you expect from these. However, when we cross into the 1950s, it's really difficult to find coins with that full cameo frost. The mint just never really took very good care of the dies through the duration of these supposed mintage runs. They just didn't, even though the mintage runs are so low. 1955 mintage is, you know, it's not the highest in the world, you know, so and keep in mind the 55 proof set in today's market is running about $75 to $80, so it's quite an investment. They are worth the money. However, you could save yourself a whole lot of time if you just focus on these deep cameo contrast coins like this one here. So it's a proof 68 red, deep cameo. I mean, that has all the makings of something really spectacular, and it sure was. This one hammered tonight for $6,530.62. And the final 1 cent denomination coin for tonight, just a really nice one here. 1937 Philly. Don't let the Philadelphia strike fool you. These are quite tough to achieve. In a 68 red, I would say there's probably only a few of these that graded out this high. But this one right here looks spectacular. My goodness. And any registry set owner of Lincolns, they would be happy to have one of these in their collection. This one ended up selling for $12,948.75. All right, now we're going to go on to nickels. We have a few Jeffersons. We have a few Buffaloes. It's going to be a wild party. 1981p, again, not the most spectacular date to talk about when it comes to, something that a registry set might want, but it is a necessity. PCGS gave this one a mid-state 66, and that FS on there means full steps, which is very important to some of the most discerning registry set owners of nickels. This one right here, not the highest grade, but at the same time, you just don't see them come across in 67s that often. So sometimes getting one that could be just a place marker might be the right call here. So this one sold for $1,096.88. Enter in probably one of the most difficult dates to find in full steps. The 1964D date is by far and away a white whale. This is a unicorn galloping across the grove. Whatever analogy you want to use for this one, this fits the bill. The pop figures are scant. I think there's only probably like 2 or 3 graded into 67 full steps, and as big of a registry set group that Jefferson nickels make up, people are going to be battling out to own this one. So 1964D, we all know the mints made hundreds of millions of these. All right, this is 64D, right? They made over $1 billion. 64 Philly, they made hundreds of millions. So quite a substantial difference. So there were a lot of these made. A lot of them did circulate, however. This one sold for $9,843.75. This is a true survivor and few $100 away from $10,000. That's special. 1960, another tough one here. Needs no introduction, although this one does have some nice toning on there. A little bit of originality never hurts. PCGS Mid-State 66 with full steps. This one sold for $3,217.50. And probably pretty close to near the same level as the 64D we looked at. 1955, which they only made Denver and Philly coins in, are both incredibly tough. Here's one of the more tougher dates, of 55 Denver. Mid-State 66 full steps is a much bigger grade than it looks like. It's not a 67 or higher, I understand that, but based on how crappy the strikes are on 55s, both at Philly and Denver coins, ooh, man, you're gonna have to shell out some big bucks if this is what you need. This one sold for $11,812.50. Goodness. And Miles will throw this one into the mix. This is the Philadelphia version. However, this one is a 67 full steps. So the Philadelphia coins, a little bit easier to find some of these full steps grades or attributions or notations or whatever you want to put on there. This one sold for $7,256.25. Certainly not a slouch and is always going to be a big target. We probably see this coin pop up on the secondary market about maybe 2 times a year if you're lucky. The Buffalo nickels today have been nothing short of breathtaking. Now, we didn't talk about a whole lot of Buffaloes, just this one here, but there were a few that did sell that are worth mentioning. The 1914S is one of the more tougher dates, in the early days of the Buffalo. This one is a Mid-State 66 by PCGS. It's even got a CAC green bean as well, which plays a huge role in the desirability of this thing. This one sold for $7,880.62. It's going to be going to a really good home. We have a few dimes to talk about. How about 53 with some crustability on there? That's what that toning is, and it serves a purpose for its originality. PCGS assigned a grade of Mid-State 67 plus full bands, and sure, registry sets are a thing, and even Roosevelt dimes, which for the longest time has been one of the more undesirables in U.S. type coinage. This one sold for $2,587.50. These things are not looking as affordable as they used to. And same goes here. This is a really cool toning pattern. 1948 this time around. PCGS gave this one a 67 with full bands, and a lot of these earlier dated rosies were well struck. 46 was the first date, and all the way up to about, I'd say, 1951 or so. You could depend on a really good strike where you're able to see the fully defined splits on the bands on the reverse. This one, my friends, sold for $1,516.50. Here's a 39S. This is the only Mercury dime I believe we have for the evening, and it's a beauty. It's close to the 40s. So, there is that conversation of like, well, these are a little bit more available, unlike maybe a 25S, which is a much tougher date. Don't give up the good fight. That's all I gotta say. 39S is a toughie. 67 full bands here, as you can see on this one. Always a perennial favorite among type collectors, but the Registry sets getting some love as well. This one sold for $2,739.38. We do have a few quarters, one of each series type, which is cool. So 1955D, we've been seeing a lot of 55s well represented tonight. Here's yet again another tough date. NGC this time, giving it a mid-state 67. Beautiful looking, subtle, if not pastel-like toning on this coin. This one sold for $1,237.50. Standing Liberty quarter, and of course we gotta shove one of the most desirable key dates in your face. And guess what? It doesn't have full head, so there you go. So this is an original green holdered PCGS Mid-State 65. Always going to be very well desired. It appeals to a massive audience of different collectors, investors, registry set, goofballs, things like that. So this one ended up selling for $4,727.25. And the final quarter of the week, 1901S. This is the creme de la creme of key dates. Even, within the 20th century era, a 1901S quarter is simply magical. This thing looks like it was found in bulk lot of 90% quarters. Because most of the Barbers that end up in these melty lots, and I'm sure a few of these have been melted, especially, 15 years ago when the Great Recession hit and silver spiked up over $50 an ounce. I'm sure a few of these were melted, which makes the survivability rate in the toilet. And that doesn't bode too well for the prices for all of the remaining copies, because they're all going to be quite high. Like this one here. This is an AG3, folks. Ugly. Ugly to a lot of people, but beautiful to the rest. I think it has a place in history, and it's a very low mintage coin. This one ended up selling, get this, for $3,180.38. So it makes you want to go back and look through your scrap silver for this one, 1901 S minted. And we're going to end things off on a few half dollars. Whoa, Franklin half dollar alert here, 1961D, one of the more common dates, all right? Especially even in mid-state condition. You're not going to spend a ton of money obtaining one of these. However, try finding one with full bell lines, and that's going to be half the challenge there. It's not a date that you traditionally come across with full bell lines. This one, a 66 by PCGS, and I'm happy to say that this one sold for $2,362.50. And we have a couple Kennedy halves to kind of fill in the sheet here for the week. 1970D, which by the way was only available in mint sets during that year. The mint never produced any of these for regular circulation. Okay, they were only collector versions only. NGC gave this one to Mint State 67. And these were not white gloved as you would expect, as maybe a proof coin would be. This is still a business strike type of coin. This one sold for, geez, $7,770.15. It makes you want to go back and cherry pick your 1970 Denvers. You know, open up some of the, not open up the sets, but take another look and see if you find a nice, clean example that looks perfect to you. Then you might have a shot. And the final coin, oh boy, copper nickel clad era. You wouldn't think there'd be anything really, really spectacular here, but 1972 Philadelphia, tough one. And again, there's a very dedicated registry set group for Kennedy half dollars. This one is a 67 plus, and it looks super smooth and very, very smooth and very satiny. This one sold for $2,455.88. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the lineup for the evening from the Monday Market Report. Thank you guys for tuning in on this one. It sure was a lot of fun and a lot of superhuman coins sold here this week. That 64D nickel, I keep kind of like rethinking and going back on that one. It's like, yeah, that's a rarity. You don't see that one too often. But nonetheless, super coin. You guys take care. Have a great week. If you're catching this one on a Monday, don't work so hard. Enjoy the hobby. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.